forms a telepathic connection with the device, and a chorus of static energy fills your mind. Every mind flayer in the room calls out hungrily from its pod, seeking release and sustenance. But there are others in the pods, those not yet infected, not yet elithid, terrified, desperate to escape. The device is open to your tadpole's command, to your authority.
I didn't think I was going to make it. Thank you.
Zevlor.
Watching gods. The Blade of Frontiers. Will? What happened?
I paid the price of angering the wrong devil.
And shouldered the cost to spare someone else a worse fate, I'd wager. I owe you an explanation. Much more than that. But first, please, the others, the ambush. Tell me they survived. Somehow I suspect it's worse even than you imagine. Likely you heard that I broke, or froze, or some other lie kinder than the truth. We were ambushed by cultists, yes. And then I heard her, their false god, whispering promises in my mind. I would be a paladin again, with a god's purpose, a god's power. Everything I needed to protect my people. And all the while, the cult tortured them. They fought and ran and died around me, while I imagined myself their savior. By the time I regained my senses, it was too late. I did not just surrender to the Absolute. For a moment, I welcomed it. I fell short of that mark in Avernus, and even so, it was not so bad as this. I won't make excuses. I can't make amends, but I know something of what you came to do. I want to help, if you'll let me. Ketheric is below. He thinks you're no longer a menace. Descend and show him how wrong he is. If there are any more survivors to be found, I'll find them and lead them out of this place. Only if you can trust it won't be buried in your back. The Absolute swayed me once before. I won't risk it happening again. Go, my friend. Please, let me do this much.
My design. Bring death. Embrace death. Lashes. Balthazar let one of his walking carcasses lapse from his control. Let's ferry them back. Wait! By the Bone Lord. It's you! I thought I'd never see you again. I wanted to keep you for myself, but they shipped you away. You talk! And you are aware. How is that possible? Oh, but what an arresting voice you have. You're not supposed to be here, Special One. That's not right. But I don't want to damage you. You were my very first, after all. I learned everything about the parasites from you. I remember finding you close to death. Beaten black and blue on the floor of this sanctum. It must have been a few hours after the tadpole was placed in your skull. How you got here was a total mystery. But I stitched you up just enough to keep you alive, then placed you within your crib. I kept you as mine, until you were needed by our superiors. We had such a close bond. I opened you up endlessly with my scalpels and got lost in your insides. I was not behind it. I do not know. But whoever did it, I'm so glad they left you here for me. Bone Lord, you're the perfect woman. All that is unnecessary stripped away. Primal. Innocent. Pure. Truthfully, I'm not surprised to see you found your way back here all by yourself. I always knew you were clever. It has never been the same with another. All the other victims who come here just meekly obey. You thrashed. You fought. You were indomitable. But as special as you are, you shouldn't be swanning around here, acting as if free will is yours again. We're going to kill you, sweet one. But I promise I will stay with you afterwards. Lashes, bring this one back to my table. And prepare my knives for a long night of experiments.
It's but the hack doctor who half pieced you together after whatever caused your head to get in this mess. Someone else must have attacked you in the midst of whatever you were doing down here. This necromancer was a grunt in the scheme of the horrors enacted against you. That attacker is the source. You were no Merkel cultist, that much is sure. You sense in your soul you were something far greater. As the console bursts into life, a mind touches your own. Alien and full of desperate need, but fragmented too. It is incomplete. It yearns to connect, but needs you to guide the process, linking each part of your mind to its like. The mind passively awaits your input. Your tadpole echoes, not with presence, but memory, tinged with loss.
The grand design, order, perfection, unity, every plane as one, every being in their place.
That loss blooms into a sudden fury, burying claws in your mind.
Taken, corrupted, gone.
And just as suddenly, pain and memory are gone, leaving only stone once more.
The grand design, the restoration of the Mind Flayer Empire, the dream of all Illithids.
Empty vessel, nothing more. Lending voice to elder law.
Fine bones, sharp jaw. Some variety of elf? Pretty enough for a flesh prison, if not the noble Githzerai features I was born with. I'd guess you're no willing guest of the Gate either. Perhaps we might aid one another. Oh, for a set of hands to slap your face! The Yankee lost their way the moment Gith threw down the Gate Empire. Only we, Zerai, continue the war to end the Gate forever. Only we fight them on their own battlefield. The mind. A Githzerai's mind is not so easily cracked. Our discipline was the very reason we were attacked. My order taught a psionic technique much feared by the Gate. They destroyed us for it, and kept me as a trophy. I never broke, but I've spent all these centuries awake, aware. So here is my offer. Use your tadpole, erase me, and I will pass my technique on to you.
You catch the lie. The monk isn't telling everything.
All right, The Gate did not find my monastery. I led them there. They promised me immortality, and they gave it. I have been their rotting trophy for centuries.
As her agitation swells, so does her latent psionic power. To your tadpole, that guilt and terror are almost fragrant. You realize the Illithids locked her away not as a trophy, but as a fine vintage.
Please, touch my mind and purge it. The moment you do, my knowledge will be yours.
The awareness that floods you is nothing like the tadpole. It is tentative and tinged with the loneliness of eons. It fades beneath your touch, but you feel something left behind. A fragment.
It is only knowledge yet, without comprehension. But when you use it, you will see. And I see.
Descend. Prepare. Obey. Liberate.
How many true souls have passed through this place? Is anyone else's tadpole squirming around more than usual?
Mine too. It's excited by something down here.
A background murmur, the presence in your mind builds to a roar.
We found it. The Absolute is behind this door.
You said it was under control.
It isn't you I answer to, Gortash.
Motherfucker! Gortash!
Oh, the general voice. Is this where we salute?
Salute, yes. With cleavers through his blood-starved flesh. How it crawls with failure, like flies on lick-wet carrion.
You forget yourself, Orin. I've played my part.
You've built an army for our masters, true enough. But what of the astral prism? A rogue true soul flaunting it under your nose all this time, and you ran from her.
Sure that they would follow and deliver it into my hands here. If you would cease these distractions.
The distractions have been yours, Ketherick.
Perhaps we never should have dug your daughter up. So you haven't lost your edge. But you're still not as sharp as Orin, I wager.
His crypt breath sings to my sinews. Again, 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 again. But he must lead the murder march to Baldur's grave.
If the weapon is truly in your grasp, Ketherick, might I suggest closing your fist? Orin and I can wait for you no longer. The plan proceeds. We're going to the city, and we expect you to follow. Army and the weapon in tow.
The Edict of Bane!
The Lash of Ball!
The Testament of Merkel!
An elder brain. One of the cruelest and most powerful creatures in existence. Enslaved by mere mortals.
There we are. It wouldn't do to fight in front of our guest. Behold, Duke Ravengard. The Absolute.
Helm preserve us.
You wag your word flap in vain, Alderling. Once the worm holds the whip, your shredded flesh will serve us.
Shit, no! Father!
Now, it's really time we were going. We will empty this place and begin the march. You may catch up with the army once you've retrieved the weapon. And Ketherick, do try not to sulk. You're supposed to be the fearsome general come to conquer the city. And I am the hero who will save it.
It is time, faithful ones. March on Baldur's Gate. We go to prepare the way